start the recording, and then I shall do the uh, today's today's session. Okay, so today's session is not from the Bible itself, but it is very useful because it helps us in the way that we can relate to the Bible idea of discipleship lah. And this is called discovering self using the Johari window. This concept here is something called Johari window. And this idea comes up from two people. They combine their names, Joe and Harry. That's how you get Johari, but it's not two Malay guys, It's Joe and Harry. So they join up to call themselves, rather call this idea the Johari window. Now, it's basically talking about ourselves. Okay, this is the self. So this square or this box represents the self. And this self, there are four segments. Okay, there are four sections of us about ourselves. And one section is called the open section. And this open section is the part of ourselves that we know about ourselves, okay? And it is also known to others. So in a way, this part is public, right? I know myself and other people know me. So this is the open part of me. And then there is another part of me that is called blind. And blind is the part of me that I don't know about myself. That's why we talk about blind spots lah. Huh? So blind means there's something about myself I don't know, and but other people know. Okay, I don't know, but other people can see about me. That's why it's called blind. I can't see, but other people can see. So that is another section of me. That's open part. I know about myself. People know about me. So it's open. The second part is I don't know about myself. It is other people who can see me and they know me. Okay, then the third section of ourselves is called hidden. What is hidden? Hidden is known to self, but I don't want to let people know, or people don't know about me. Okay, so people don't know about me. That's why it's called hidden. I have not revealed myself to them. I've not revealed myself to them. Then there is the fourth section of me called the unknown, which is to say, I don't know about myself, and other people also don't know about me. Okay, so this is totally undiscovered. I don't know about me, and people also don't know about me. So we have these four sections of us, all right, that in our lifetime, it is for us to develop, is for us to grow. So this open part can grow bigger when we move this line. You can see this move this line. Okay. So this line or this axis, this section, the hidden part becomes smaller as I reveal myself. So the more I reveal myself, then the hidden part is smaller. It becomes smaller because other people know more about me. Okay, this is called self-disclosure. So this segment going up and down with this axis, we call this an axis. Okay, going up and down of this axis is the axis of self-disclosure. That means we tell people or we show people something about ourselves that they don't know. It used to be hidden. Okay, you got this so far? So this quadrant, or rather this axis, this line, the more we reveal ourselves, the hidden part will become smaller as people know more about me. Then there's this other axis here, okay? This other axis here, which is where the more people give me feedback. Remember this part here is blind. That means I don't know about myself. So because I don't know about myself, there are things that I cannot use to grow. But people give me feedback. So this axis is the feedback axis. When people tell me or people let me know more about myself. So you see the open becomes bigger and not known to myself. The part that is blind, I don't know about myself, becomes smaller as people give me feedback about me. Okay, so there you go. You have these two axes. This one here, the less people give me feedback, then you see that the less I know about myself. All right, and the bigger part of me is blind. There's a big part of me blind. I don't know about myself. I cannot grow or develop this part of me because people see me, but they don't tell me. Okay, so this is called feedback, the feedback axis. The more people tell me about myself, give me feedback, then the more I know myself, and the smaller part of me becomes, the smaller part of me that is blind becomes even smaller. Okay, so we have these two axes, feedback axis. People tell me about myself that I don't know. My blind becomes smaller. And then on this part is the self-disclosure. If I keep quiet, I keep secret, I don't tell people, I don't let people know about me, you can see the open part here will be very small and the hidden part is very big. And of course, it means it affects the unknown also. All right. So if people don't give me feedback, just like I don't self-disclose, people don't give me feedback, you'll see what happens is the unknown becomes bigger and bigger. All right, so that means I don't know, people don't know, and I cannot grow, I cannot develop. Okay, so this is a simple way. It helps us to know about relationships. Okay, it helps us to know about relationships. The more I open, the more people will know me, and then the more people can give me feedback about myself. So the open part of me becomes bigger, right? And you can see that the corresponding blind part, hidden part, and unknown part becomes smaller and smaller. So in our human relationships, right, to be known, to know and to know myself and be known by other people, all right, that helps us in our developing relationships. So for the idea of discipleship, we will talk about this in a little while. Okay, you can see that this is actually quite useful and can be relevant when we talk about discipleship. So let's say a little bit more about this, then we talk about how it can be used. So when we understand how the Johari window works, this can help us see how God uses fellow Christians to enable us to discover more of ourselves. And when we discover more of ourselves, we can strengthen each other. We know more about ourselves, we know about each other, we can strengthen each other. This is talking about partnership. Yeah, partnership. But we have to humble ourselves. Okay, then we have to trust. And then, of course, we have to risk being vulnerable. We have to risk letting people know more about myself. Okay, the hidden part, I let people know more about me so that they can give me feedback at the same time, okay? They can give me feedback, then the blind part about me, my blind spots, there'll be less. So we talk about open. Open means I know about myself and other people know me. And that may be what we call our public life. It's not private, it's public. People know, people see. The blind section is where other people know about me, but I don't know about me. And so this is the part of life that people can see, but I don't realize about myself. That's why it's called blind. I don't realize about myself. For the hidden part, I know myself, but I don't tell people. Other people don't know me. So this is the part that is the self-aware part of our inner and personal life. Okay, you can call this the private part or the confidential part or the part that I know but other people don't know. And then the last section is the unknown. I don't know myself and other people also don't know about me. But more of this sector or more of this section will come to light as we spend personal time with God and also self-disclose. Okay, so we reveal, we tell people, we show people ourselves in open and honest relationships. So this is a dynamic process that can take place, a dynamic process of self-disclosure as well as others' feedback. So in a relationship, I tell people, I show people about myself, and then they give me feedback. They tell me about myself that I don't see. And this dynamic process back and forth, right? When we do that, God expands the open sector. So that was the part here I said open sector. So in that sense, we become more transparent. Yeah, people know me, I know myself. We become more transparent. Okay, Elaine's the plane just touched down. Okay, so now that I'm transparent, it means that there's nothing to hide. Okay, and it is possible that I become blameless. Okay, the being open is not for people to take advantage of me. Okay, so this whole process of discipleship is that we learn to trust and be trustworthy. We are not doing this to take advantage of each other. Like some people say, oh, you better not tell people about yourself. Okay, you tell people about yourself, they will take advantage of you. Now, we are not working on that kind of relationship, right? That's the worldly relationship, is not discipleship. And that part is the scary part because that's where people sin against each other lah, by making use of information I know about you to my advantage. Okay, so we are talking about a godly relationship of openness, transparency, growth. Okay, learning to be like Jesus, to be known by people. So that is God expands our open sector, okay, through open relationships, right? We will be able to discover more ourselves, yeah, able to discover more of ourselves in transparent relationships with God and others. And this, as I emphasize again, is about a discipleship context. Okay, so you can see discipleship context, the relationship is one that is can be quite a scary thing lah. But this is where we really talk about growing the qualities that God wants in us. So to finish off this part, open relationships that are honest. Okay, so we use words like open, all right, honest, And very important, we are not here to judge each other as people tell us more about ourselves, themselves. Okay, we're not here to judge. So through open, honest, non-judgmental relationships, we can work on encouraging, because we struggle, ma. So when we struggle, we open, we are honest, then uh, as partners and fellow disciples, we shouldn't be here to judge people. Yeah, we want to encourage and we support one another to overcome. Okay, so you see, these are all important things in the process of discipleship. Encourage, support one another to overcome our personal and corporate challenges to develop godly character and love. Okay, so these are the uh, important points. The whole idea of a Johari window, learning to work at this self development. And as I develop, right, I develop with fellow disciples. Okay, so that is the Johari window. Now let's talk about that in the context of principles of partnership. Okay, so we want to look at that in terms of using as partners in discipleship. So we use the Johari window for growing integration. Integration means we learn to mix, we learn to get along with each other, just like the hand and the glove fitting in nicely. That's integration. For growing integration, then transparency. Okay, so we can, if we are transparent, we can be blameless. Yeah, we can be blameless. So remember, God made us to be holy and blameless people. So the idea of transparency is working towards this whole idea of blamelessness. We grow integration, so we combine together as one body, one family, become transparent and blameless, and there's a united focus. We grow one together in Christ. So for this to work, then we must have an agreement lah. Okay, so people involved must have an explicit and continuing agreement. Yeah, explicit and continuing agreement. So what we need to do is agree with each other. Yeah, agree with each other that's involved, that we are in partnership of sharing. Yeah, so we share. So that's why it's very important to talk about ourselves, talk about our development, sharing, self-discovering. What did I learn? What did I discover? And self-actualizing. Self-actualizing means I achieve it for myself. I achieve my potential in Christ. Okay, so we're not here to judge. We are not here to put each other down. The very important principle is we're here to walk together. So openness, trust, and respect others and self, okay, are important qualities to be rooted in God's love. Okay, so we talk about respect, is respect for others and self. Yeah, and all these things, openness, trust, and respect for others and self, they are important qualities to be rooted in Christ's love, in God's love. As you grow in God's love, then you need to accept and respect yourself. Okay, so there may have been times in our life when we cannot accept ourselves, we're angry with ourselves, we blame ourselves, okay, and we maybe sometimes there may be something where we say, I cannot forgive myself. So now we have to learn that in God's love, we have to learn to accept, respect self, and forgive self as well. And that we also do together with others. Respect yourself and others where you and they are at. Each one of us is at in our spiritual journey or spiritual status. Remember, where are we on the mountain climbing journey? If I use example, it's like climbing a mountain. We have to accept that we are at different points on the mountain and we want to support each other to climb higher. That's the whole idea. Okay, discipleship is to support each other to climb higher together as much as possible. So, explicit agreement means that open sharing, right, to come to an understanding of what you would like the relationship of partnership to be like. This is helpful because then it sets the boundary for us to say, okay, I agree to share about myself. And each one of us agrees to share about ourselves. Okay, we share to be partners, we share not to be gossip. Okay, we share not to be gossip. We share not to open up each other's secrets and information to other people that's not in the group. Okay, so we come to an understanding that we are sharing as partners. Okay, and so we have to be confidential within the group of sensitive information. So that is explicit. We have to agree and say so. Then it helps because everybody is committed. Then there is the continuing agreement, means as time goes on, you keep to it. So like normal human relationships, as time goes on, yeah, if we learn to be open and genuine, there are times when we may discover that people make mistakes. Yeah, people make mistakes. We make mistakes. And then someone is uncomfortable or upset, right? We make mistakes. Somebody is uncomfortable. Somebody is upset about what the mistake has been, about the mistake that has been done. So here, we don't say, oh, you make mistake and you upset me, so I'm out of here. I don't want to be in this group anymore. Either you get out or I get out. No, no, we don't do that, okay? We must learn to remember that this is a journey that each one of us needs to grow. So somebody is uncomfortable, somebody is upset, right? So this is where the continuing agreement means that anything that is done, mistakes or breach, okay, whether it's intentional or unintentional, the breach of comfort or trust, we will talk it out. We need to talk it out so that we learn to come to an understanding and we learn to come to resolve it. Okay, so how that is where need to highlight it. That means we need to talk about it, bring it out into the open, need to discuss, and then don't get angry. Okay, remember that this is the way to work out things, how in God's way, how to do it in God's way, and then resolve it. Okay, so remember this, when you're upset with each other or somebody, you don't say, okay, I'm upset with y'all, so I don't want to come to discipleship anymore. I'm getting out of this group. Okay, that is not the God Jesus way of growing. I'm sadly sad to say a lot of churches, a lot of people in churches, when they're not happy with each other, they just break off. Okay, so now what we want to do is we really want to grow deeper. We want to grow deeper in our commitment to Christ and also in the commitment to Christ's family. Remember, we are children of God, right? In your own family, whether Lim family, Yap family, you don't say, okay, I'm angry with you. I don't want to be in this family anymore. Do you do that? You can't say, I don't want to be in this family anymore, right? Correct. Okay. So in the same way, in God's family, we cannot say, I'm getting out. So this is where people backslide, or people don't go to church, or people don't get involved in ministry, become backbencher, or whatever it may be lah, huh? Okay, I'm sure over the years you have come across people like that. Sometimes you feel like behaving like that also because you get upset. Okay, so this is where discipleship challenges us. Grow deeper, grow further from there. Okay, so any problem, any discomfort we have, we need to bring it out. We need to talk about it. We need to resolve it. And we must not let it harbor inside us. Go and nurse it, huh? Keep thinking and feeding the angry feelings, the upset feelings, and then let it fester. That is very dangerous. It is behaving just like who? Do you remember in your Bible reading? Behaving like who here?
In.
Yeah, correct. Behaving just like Cain. And you know, Cain's worship is not acceptable to God, right? So our worship must not be like that with God through the way we behave in God's family. Whatever we have done in the past, let's forgive ourselves. Let's forgive other people. Let's grow. Remember, we talked about forgiveness,
Mm.
right? I brought you through the how to do the unforgiveness and the forgiveness prayer thing, the cast out and to heal. Okay. If you need me to revise, we can always do that again because that is a super important journey of practice. Okay. It's a super important journey of practice, forgiveness, and even reconciliation. So we must not allow all that to be harbored, nursed, and fester because it eats us up inside and it breaks the relationship. It is important that the group should discuss and come to a consensus, find God's solution to resolve, right? Come to a consensus that is good for the group to grow. Then the group becomes strong. Then the discipleship becomes really salt and light. Yeah, salt, one of the things about salt is healing, right? And then light is where people can see, people can learn, people can give glory to God. Okay, so with respect to this idea of good for the group, now what happens in many cases is sometimes in a group when somebody is not happy, they have private discussion. They go and talk to one or two people, who they feel that they have something to unload, all their burden, all their unhappiness. Then they talk to one or two people and they pour out all the unhappiness, and quite often it ends up poisoning people lah. So here, the thing that we must remember is no private discussions to carry out elsewhere with people in the group or other people from somewhere else that foment negative thoughts, emotions, and attitudes. That's to say, we don't want people to talk somewhere, right? And then they become very negative. They think negative, they feel negative, and their attitude also change, also negative. And then it becomes worse. Foment means it becomes worse. Now, if that happens, it will prove to be detrimental to the fellowship and the spiritual health of the individuals, the persons involved, and it will also poison the group. Okay, because within the group, there are members who have been poisoned by all these negative thoughts, emotions, and attitudes. Okay, so good for the group means we don't have private conversation somewhere where we can continue to be negative. That's very dangerous. Okay, point C for this thing about explicit and continuing agreement, something that we learn to do. Point C, in the spirit of Christian love and growth. No one should expect others to give in to his or her fears and insecurities, to not overcome his or her sensitivities.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
what this means is to say, right, that okay, I don't want to work out my problem. Let's say I have a problem with X in the group. There's no person called X in the group. I'm just using an example, okay? Let's pretend I have a problem with X in the group. Then I'm fearful, I'm insecure, I don't dare to bring it out. I don't dare to bring it up. I talk to somebody and say, oh, I problem with X. I'm very unhappy. I'm hurt or whatever by X in the group, but I don't want to talk it out. I don't want to spoil the whole thing lah. Okay. So we should not allow somebody to feel and behave in this way. I can see somebody smiling already. So some of this, they are real life things, huh? Okay. These are real life things. And you know that this kind of things, over time, it will just break up the relationship. It will break up the group. Okay? So we should not allow ourselves, we should not allow each other to have that kind of mindset. Remember, love the Lord your God with all your mind, yeah, and with all your soul. That means your sensitivities, your fears, your insecurities. You need to work it out. Loving God means you go and get this done, resolve them, settle them. Okay, so we will be learning the lesson on emotions, right? We're learning the lesson on emotions, we're learning the lesson on thinking, how to think, how to get your mindset correct. Okay, so we must not let these all continue in the old self way. This is the work of the human nature. Remember the old self?
Mhm.
Put off the old
Oof.
self, right? That is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. Our memory verse is verse 24. Put on the new
New
self.
self.
Yeah, very good. You remember, huh? Verse
Mhm.
22 is put off the old self. And this is the old self. This is the old self. Remember, the old self is the old person, not the spiritual baby. If we continue to let the old self work all this, the new baby will not grow. Okay? The new baby will not grow. The spiritual baby will not grow. So this is the work of the human nature, the old self, to demand that others give in to me without me wanting, without me working to grow out of all these things. But I just want to remain stagnant and demanding. I want to be like that. Okay, I want to be upset. I don't want to friend you. I don't want to be in this group anymore. Okay, so in Christian love and growth, these are very powerful old self things that we have to start changing. Okay, very important, very powerful, because very few people manage to overcome. Why? Because we just follow our feelings. Remember emotions, right?
Mhm.
The faith feelings. In the past,
Mhm.
we always tend to put the feelings in front. And if I feel unhappy, I feel hurt, I feel upset, then I don't want to friend you, I keep away. Okay, so explicit agreement, continuing agreement means if and whenever we should have these problems, we don't say, okay, close shop, bye-bye, close the group, okay? And then all of you go your own way, I go my own way. We should agree to come together to learn, to work through it. Continuing agreement, we go and learn how to resolve it. That is good for our group. And from there, we can change the church if more people can learn to do the same. Okay, next one, very important, be confidential. Don't share people's sensitive information. Oh, that person is angry, the person is hurt, and then you just go and tell people, okay, the person is this, that. Sensitive information must not be shared outside the group without their knowledge or permission. Okay, we want to resolve it in the group so that the group can grow healthy, grow strong, and know how to work out the problem. Now, just now we talked about feedback and self-disclosure, right? Okay, so here, in the course of receiving feedback, part of growing is when people tell us things about ourselves. You can share to say, oh, I feel sensitive, I feel uncomfortable, I feel hurt. You can share, okay? This is very human that you feel this kind of things. But remember, this is the work of your human nature. So we must learn to overcome. Don't let the human nature stay victorious. Then our Christian life is defeated. Our Christian relationships will be defeated. Okay? So when we feel sensitive, upset, uncomfortable, hurt, angry, all these things, it is the work of our human nature. And we have to recognize we are still not perfect. Remember the term called progressive. What's the next word? Progressive what?
Sanctification.
Correct. Sanctification. What does that mean?
What is that?
Progressive
To be
growth.
like
Growth.
Sorry, louder. Don't be shy.
Is it growth?
Sorry, louder.
Progressive growth
What kind of growth when we say progressive sanctification?
in our
be like
Christian life.
to be like Jesus.
What's the meaning of sanctification?
In going towards holiness lah.
To be holy like God.
Like God.
Progressive sanctification. That means more and more
More like God.
becoming different like God. Yeah, more and more becoming different like God. That's why we are still not perfect. Remember, I draw the continuum, right? The holiness continuum, right? So we have to be more and more different like God. Different from what thing then? We want to be more like God, but different from what? Different from our human
Old self.
Old self, yeah.
Yes,
Old
correct. The old self, that's right. Okay, so you can see the whole idea of discipleship, progressive sanctification. We're learning to starve the old self. We're feeding the new self to grow to be more and more different like God. So we have to recognize still not perfect. Remember, holiness for us human beings is not about perfection. Only God is perfectly holy. We are holy, we are to grow holy, but we are not perfectly holy, not perfectly different like God. So remember, imperfections and weaknesses don't mean that you are condemned or don't mean that you are any less in value. It doesn't mean you're not worthy. Okay, some people are scared, so they or rather we lah, we do hide, we do try our best to fight and be defensive, right? Attack the other party because otherwise we don't feel good about ourselves. But remember, being imperfect and having weaknesses does not mean we are condemned. Okay, it just means we are insecure because of our human nature. So we have to remember the value that God has given you and work on reinforcing your Christ esteem. Okay, so now I introduce Christ esteem. So that is another lesson we'll be learning. Okay, so we're going to be learning quite a lot of new things that you have not learned before. right? Christ esteem, learning how to understand and handle your thoughts and your emotions, right? And these take a lot of time to learn and especially to practice. So remember the value God has given you and work on reinforcing your Christ esteem so that even you have imperfections and weaknesses, you don't feel condemned. You don't feel like you are worthless, good for nothing. And very importantly, you can forgive yourself. Okay, you have made mistakes in the past, you can forgive yourself. And you can
Christ
forgive,
esteem
yes, Christ esteem.
is Christ's value, isn't it?
Correct, Christ value. Okay, so you can grow without your old human nature dragging you down. Okay, you make more progress is the new self and starve the old self. So this is when you receive feedback, somebody shares something about you and you feel upset, you feel hurt. At the same time, if you are the one giving feedback, so now you are the one sharing, okay? Of course, share, honest, but don't share with the intention to hurt people. But people sometimes they still feel uncomfortable and hurt and sensitive. So this is where we need to give space. Give space to the recipient of your feedback. Now, remember, you can do this because there is agreement. If you go to somebody that never agree to listen to you, then you tell them some things that upset them, they may say, bye-bye, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Okay, so this is where we agree. We know that whatever we share, it is meant to be discipleship focused. We don't share just because I'm not happy with you. I don't share so that I can hantam you lah. Yeah, I don't share to hantam you. I share so that we can learn to progress. We can learn to be more careful, perhaps. We can learn to be more watchful for each other, right? And we learn to know, oh, there are some things we have to be careful about. We cannot just carelessly say things or do things. Okay, so that is good for our relationship with other people also lah. Not just for the group, because if people in the group can be sensitive, people outside the group, of course, can be sensitive also. Yeah,
Alfred, is it good for us to know about what people talk share about us, that like open, blind, hidden, and then unknown? Is it good for us to know this? Is it good for us to know this, so that is it because for our improvement, or to be a better Christian, or to be having a better relationship with God?
okay, it is good to know this because this kind of knowledge helps us to broaden our view.
Yeah, we shouldn't be hurtful, but at least somebody is truthful to tell us that what is our shortcoming and what is our
Correct.
weaknesses and what is our strength.
Yes, correct.
And maybe there's an area that we need to improve, or to be a better person or better Christian, right?
Correct. Yes. Yes. That's why you see the self-disclosure part, the part that is blind, all right, it's very useful when in a partnership
So we
concept.
must be ever ready that to accept what people say, even though sometimes we do not know, or maybe sometimes we feel that, is it? I don't think it's correct, is it? Sometimes, but then it's good to know lah.
Yeah. But we do it slowly, huh? We don't, and one go, I tell you, huh?
Not one first time hantam betul-betul.
Sorry,
Yeah, I tell you, you're
sorry,
wrong.
sorry. Wait, can I say something? Alfred, you
correct.
say it must be agreement. So,
Yeah, must be agreement, but
So
we
you're
also
talking
must
about in the
accept
group
with
here
good
lah.
faith lah.
no, the person who tell you, is it in the group? Have he agreed with you?
No, it must do within our own group, right?
This
We
No.
must start within the
it
group.
must start with our own group lah.
Yes, correct. We start within our own group. Okay.
Okay.
You don't suddenly now, you go outside and you start telling people and then you hamtam them with the truth, when you know they don't know anything that we have been learning. You see, why we are learning to slowly accept and work on it is because we have been learning how to understand all these things, broaden our way of looking and understanding, and then try to work at it. But if we just listen here and then you go outside and do it with other people who don't know anything, they feel hurt, then they say, bye bye, Maggie Lim, I will hate you for the rest of my life and never friend you again. You know? So you have to be sensitive. Know that they don't have what we call common platform.
Uh,
Yeah. We learn all these
okay.
things. We are progressing on the common platform. We are on the same platform because we understand these things. Without this platform, you go to do it somebody else, they may be very upset. They don't know where you're coming from and they don't have the understanding. Then they will just behave like the old self.
Mm.
You see the point? So you see,
Mhm.
that's why teaching is very important and it must be over a period of time, like what you all have done together here.
Alfred, I want to ask you,
Yes.
when you mentioned the group,
Louder,
in
Ken?
your all the notes of you say group, you mean this group or you're
Yes.
generalizing it
In this group, we're
in
talking
this
about in
group?
a group where people meet
Okay. So in
regularly.
this group, as you see,
Mm.
there is not all the local officers are here. Okay. So if I have something to say to any local officer who is in a ministry and I don't like the way he's doing something, can I tell him more?
No,
I can't
no.
because he has no
Right?
agreement with me.
First, that
That's
is one
correct.
thing. That's one thing, but not the only thing. Okay, just now you said, you want to tell him what you don't like.
Mm.
That is your preference.
But
Is
you say
what?
must grow together, ma.
Yes, but why must everybody follow your preference?
Because I think I know.
Huh? Sorry?
Yeah, I cannot hear you.
Because I'm in
He's
the discipleship
he's
club
a
and he's
husband.
not.
Sorry?
Because that
Tiago?
He's
person
a
must grow to
husband.
be like Maggie.
Grow to be like Maggie, not grow to be like Jesus.
No, because I'm in the discipleship club, I got taught for certain things already. So I have a little bit of confidence, you know.
No, just because you have confidence doesn't make you the standard. The standard is godly standard, not your standard, not my standard.
Yeah. I know that is all based on godly. The basic is godly standard, I know. But when
Correct?
you see things are not going away the way that it should be, I can't wait for him to sign agreement with me. There will be no growth and there'll be, no
Okay, that's where you
progressing.
have to understand more things. Just because
Yeah,
you're in discipleship doesn't mean that people must follow what you say.
yeah.
Okay, you must remember there are other things involved rather than just Maggie standard, right? Everybody has their own style of working. Okay, you cannot, just because you are a disciple of Jesus, you cannot impose your style on other people because that is not their style. Their style doesn't mean it is wrong. Just like you have your style, what if people tell you, Maggie, your style is wrong? You like it? You don't, because you have your style.
Yeah,
That's because,
if people tell me like
mm,
what has been said, then I will have to be open to it. I
yes,
will I will have to learn from it and grow
yeah,
and and be transparent. I will know the things that I do not know. Maybe they know something. You know why? Because I'm in the discipleship class. I
or
have to learn all these things.
you cannot be in a
Ah.
discipleship class, learn all these things, and then tell people start telling people what to do.
No,
You
I'm not
become
saying I'm telling people what to do, but that there are certain ways that can be, there are certain things that, not done properly, So what we do? We keep quiet because the person doesn't have agreement with me.
okay. So you see there are other things involved that you have to think about. You cannot just think that, okay, I've learned in discipleship like that, And then when I see what they are not doing better than what they should be doing, okay, better than what they're doing. So I tell them what to do. Because you see, if they have a style and their style is not sin, their style is not sin, it is not wrong, it's just personal style, okay? You have to respect them. Just now, remember we talked about respect each other, okay? So you have to respect that this is the way they do. Of course, if they are willing, you can share with them a better way to do it or a more effective way of doing it. But you must respect that that is their style, that is their personality, and you cannot step on their personality. Just like other people should not step on Maggie's personality. Right? Okay? So we have to all learn that there is a difference in the way we handle because, number one, is it right or wrong as far as God is concerned? If it is a matter of style and preference, we have to respect other people, even though they achieve less results. We have to respect them because that is what they are capable of achieving at this point in time. Of course, in future, we don't know lah. That's where future is for us to explore this whole idea of Johari window, the openness. Remember just now we talked about openness, okay? But we also talk about respect. Just because I have maybe to me, my way is the best or most effective, I cannot go around telling people, you must do it my way. Okay, because I'm not respecting them. Okay, so let me use a parable that Jesus used. Okay, remember the parable of the talents? Remember the parable of the talents? Somebody has 5, somebody has 2, somebody has 1. You have 5 because you can achieve a lot more. But the one who has 2, which is less than you, can achieve 2, and the master tells him or her the same praise that the master gave you with 5. Same praise. You see? So Jesus is not necessarily looking for perfection in each one of us. Okay? Jesus is looking for us to have the right character responses. Yeah. So yes, you have 5, you can achieve 5. But the person has 2, can achieve 2. Remember, the parable says each according to his ability. So you 5, you cannot impose your standard on step on the 2. Right? Because you are violating what God has given to them to achieve according to their ability. You have to respect that. And so this is where a new value comes into play for you and me. If we think that, oh, I have 10 talents, I can develop 20, even better than the 5. And that is humility.
Oh.
Okay? So besides respect, there is that humility to accept other people because they are super limited. They can only achieve 2. But I am also limited. I can achieve 10 into 20, but I'm still limited. Because God can achieve infinity. See the difference? Okay, so we have to respect other people because that is what God has given them. That is what they're capable of. But if they are willing to learn, they are open and they say, okay, I'm willing to expand myself. I'm happy to do it. Then let's work together, encourage them. But I cannot impose on them and say, you must change because your style is lousy. My style is better. As long as they're not sinning, they are using their 2 talents to achieve 2.
Okay. Agree.
You have your 5, achieve your 5. At the end of the day, when we all stand before Jesus, he will judge us the same way and say, well done to you, well done to that person as well.
Mm.
Okay, so you see,
Okay.
Einstein, God will judge Einstein based on that standard. Okay, somebody not so Einstein, God will judge that person not so Einstein standard.
Mm.
So the rest of us learn respect, humility, and other qualities. Okay, so it is not a matter of right or wrong. And there is a Bible principle called accommodation. Okay, accommodation. And this idea of accommodation is Corinthians, it talks about the one who certain food cannot eat already fall into sin. We have to accommodate them because they are weaker.
Mm.
Okay, we cannot impose on them. That is another quality now, love. Bottom line, love the Lord your God, love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, so without us realizing it by obeying God, there are a lot of qualities we are actually developing.
Mm.
We just need to obey God. All will automatically work. Okay, but we don't impose our human expertise and so on unless they want that. They welcome it. All good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
good, everybody. Any more questions? Good, good
Alfred,
sharing. Okay, good questions and sharing. Yeah, Ivy.
I want to ask you something. You say we should not talk personally to another person in the group. Now, for example, I'm taking an example. Okay, I have a problem with X. Okay, I find that X has done something which I don't like.
In the group.
In the group, I'm talking
Okay,
about. That's
example.
what you were saying. Okay, you said we should not go and talk privately to another person. But don't you think that if I feel that I want to talk it out, can I get, let's say, 2 or 3 people from the group, okay, and just discuss with them about this X, okay, with the hope that actually they might be able to tell me actually I might be in the wrong because I might feel that actually X has done something wrong, but actually I might be the one that is in the wrong. But I just want to solve this problem, talk to some 2 or 3% in the group to see their views. Isn't that okay? Is that okay? I mean, it so happened that our group, this group is smaller. There's only 5 or 6 of us. But for example, if there is a bigger group, see, I might not be comfortable to share this problem with the whole group because I don't want to make it into a big issue. It's just something probably is my personal opinion of X or something like that.
Okay, the principle here is resolution,
Yes, I want to resolve this thing.
reconciliation. Okay, so whatever it is, if we are working with reconciliation in mind and love in mind, okay, the group that you talk to must understand this because we cannot turn it into a gossip or into a poison group.
Yes.
Yeah. So you must make it very clear what's the purpose of the sharing so that the group knows that we are trying to make growth out of this discussion. We're not trying to reinforce your negativity and support anybody. Okay, the worst thing is to say, I stand on your side. Yes, Nikki.
Ivy is asking, can she have a private discussion with a few people of the group?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned
Yes,
that
instead of
no
the whole
private.
group.
She said can or not, that's all.
Yeah. That's why I just said as
Yeah,
long
you
as
say that means we must before we have the discussion with the group. That means I have to make sure that we gather together is to find a solution to solve my problem with
your
X.
problem, yes,
So
your
not
problem.
to make you all like listen to me and then you all cite me and say, oh, X is wrong. You see, we try
Yes,
to solve my problem with X. But
yes.
instead of asking the whole group, probably I get a handful which people that which I feel that is able to help me to solve my problem.
Mm.
So is that we can do that, is it?
Yes. So because it's solving
He's
your
seeking your
problem,
approval.
it's solving
No, no,
your
no. I mean,
problem.
is it okay? Because
Yeah, approval lah,
yeah,
whether
yeah,
you
yeah.
want to do it, you want to do it correctly, you want to do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you have a problem, then you need somebody to help you
Yes.
to unsolve the
To
problem,
solve that
solve your
problem.
problem. Yes, yes. So it doesn't have to be X that's the problem.
Yeah,
Can be
yeah.
yourself.
It could be my problem, but it's my problem with X lah.
Yes, correct. So you have to
Yes,
learn to
I
let
have an
go.
issue with X lah.
Ah,
So instead of getting the whole group,
yeah.
you see, because some of them might not be able, I might not be feel so comfortable to tell them something which I feel that is my problem. So let's say I get a few from the group, actually it's still within the group lah, to help me to solve my issue with X.
Okay, if your attitude and purpose are both correct, then it's okay.
Okay.
But if you just want to share that you're unhappy and you want people to cite you and sayang you, and cite you against X,
Yeah lah.
then that is wrong
Okay.
because that is the old self.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Understand.
yeah.
So actually, it's yes or no.
Actually, it's
Just say
yes.
yes,
It depends on
with
your
the
attitude.
correct attitude and
It depends
objective.
on your attitude. What is your reason of calling
Ah,
that group?
yes, yes. What are you going to achieve there? Are you trying to
Uh,
get people to support you or to sayang you and make
uh,
you continue to feel negative?
No, I
It's very
think I really want
dangerous.
to know is that maybe different people have different thinking and look at it at a different angle.
Yes,
At
widen
the
your,
widen
uh,
her scope of thinking, not
yes,
just like
correct.
outside the box.
so that
So
might
she
help.
wants to know
That,
whether is she correct or not, is it in the
Mm,
wrong or not. So
mm.
she wants a justification from somebody outside that she's having the
not
issue
not outside. It's actually still within the
from
group.
with us among one of us,
Ah,
or maybe a few of us, I do not know lah.
mm.
But to justify you're correct or the X is correct. Or
Mm.
maybe you're oversensitive, or maybe X is doing something that insensitive. That's all only, isn't it? To
Mm, mm.
justify your feeling that
You don't
Actually,
want to
if you say it's
justify,
not
like you want
justified,
to
right? It's
want
to
resolve.
to
solve
resolve your issue
resolve
lah.
the problem the feeling or resolve the issue with X lah.
Mm,
Uh,
mm, mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Then eventually, if it is serious enough or good enough, can let X know.
Yeah.
So this is where the group really needs to now remember again, not gang up against X, the attitude will be
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is where it's actually better if because the group is not very big, it's actually good if the group can be involved, because then we begin to see more things. Because it's not only the I who has the issue of resolving myself, the rest learn. You see, for many years, I find that people like to keep quietly to themselves. You know, if you have problem, you talk to me. You don't let other people know. But when you do that, other people are not learning. Other people are not growing. You see, so I find that somehow this whole idea of just one-to-one, yes, in I will agree certain conditions, certain things, one-to-one is important, but as a whole, if people are growing as a group, we should let the group grow together lah. Of course, you see the same platform is very important, and managing the feelings. Okay, I find that we all are very affected by our feelings.
That's very true.
We're all very
That's very
affected.
true.
Feelings are very powerful. So this is where we have to ask ourselves, is my feeling the old self at work? right? Is the way I'm feeling and responding my old self at work? If I acknowledge that it is, I must be honest and I must work at learning to overcome. Right? That's part of the abundant life, the full life Jesus promised, John 10:10, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Overcomer as well as
You have to
victorious
like,
as well as overcoming temptation and the old self.
mm.
Yeah. So many wonderful things we can learn, but it can be quite a hard knock on our sensitivities lah. It really challenges our sensitivities. So this is where we have to overcome. We have to learn to see this in a different light from our old self ways. All good? All okay? Maggie, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, yeah.
I just want it's very difficult not to avoid private discussions if you
Yes.
you know
So we must have guidelines.
because ideally it's good to be like-minded, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
sometimes.
doesn't happen. Yeah.
Because we don't have same platform. First of
Mm,
all, we must have the same platform of knowledge. Number two, making the effort. Making the effort because, our old self, we tend to like, I'm not happy. Yeah, that
Mm.
kind of thing.
mm,
And when we are hurt or offended, we don't want people to come and tell us what to do when we're hurt, offended, or we feel that we feel very lousy about ourselves. Yeah. So these we have to recognize these are all a part of our old self that is trying to suppress our spiritual growth. Right? The old man is trying to press the baby down. So most of the time the baby gets strangled lah. Yeah.
I know this baby very strong one can fight back.
Okay. Okay, so let's try and finish off the last bit. Okay, so when we give feedback, we must give the person who is receiving the feedback space to be sensitive, uncomfortable, and hurt. Because this is their honest feeling. We cannot say you cannot feel like that. You do feel like that, but you must remember over time you have to grow. Okay, you do feel like that, but this is only now when you're just learning about how to grow from here. Okay, so starting point, we feel very upset and all that. It is very normal. Okay, so we need to give space for the person to be upset and all that. But remember, we have to learn. So each person needs time, space to recognize, acknowledge, and work through his and her sensitivities and struggles. Okay, we learn and we must practice. Yeah, we must practice. Otherwise, the learning is in vain. So we give respect. Once again, respect by being gentle, even backing off when necessary. We give people space to work out and give people space to learn to overcome. But it's important now when you overcome, you come back and work it out together in a group so that we all learn how to apply. So with regard to point 1C above just now we were talking respect. Okay. We should not expect people to be, oh, you must please respect my fear, my insecurity. I don't want to work. I don't want to change. Okay, that was point C now. So with respect to point C, okay, respect doesn't apply to those who want people to give me space, you back off. Okay, back off, don't disturb me, but then have no intention to work on overcoming. I just want to continue being upset, angry, hurt, and offended. We should not have that kind of attitude. Okay, respect does not apply to people who behave like that. Okay, so grace, so we must remember that I expect people to respect me, but I should not impose on people respect me by letting me continue being in this kind of old self style lah. Grace is not an excuse to continue stubbornly in the character and ways of the human nature. So I cannot say you're not giving me grace like God, huh? Okay, let's not do that. That's really the old self trying not to change. But consideration should be given to those who genuinely need to work through any long-standing or deep-seated issues. Okay, sometimes people can be very, very hurt from the past, right? So they may have long-standing, that means it's been for very long, or it's been deep-seated, has been very, very hurtful. Okay, and that may require a longer process of healing. That's why I encourage you all to the forgiveness thing, do it quite often, do it over time, right? Because it requires a lot of process and time to heal. Sometimes the issue may need to be given time to rest so that any party or parties have the time and the process of softening of heart because they learn God's truth and they are convicted to change. Okay, this is for those who are very hurt for a long, long time or hurt very deep lah, and they need more time. But if you're just recently hurt, you should resolve it quickly. Okay, so in the light of what we have just seen, 1C here and number 4, work out the balance, all right, between giving people space and respect them and people saying, no, I don't want to change. Okay, work out the balance that benefits the individual to develop and also the fellowship or the partnership of the group. So for the one person as well as for the group, we have to work out that balance. So you see, all this is not easy. That's why we must come to agreement. Do you all agree? Okay? All this is not easy thing because this is not something that our old self will just say, okay, I'm willing. So be secure, or if you're not secure, then work on being secure as you receive uncomplimentary feedback that agitates your human nature. So you feel hurt, you feel offended, you feel sensitive, but after that, work on being secure. Okay, it's very natural one. 99.9%, maybe even 100% will feel a little bit insecure or sensitive. Okay, but work on it. And don't be personal when giving feedback. No personal attack, huh? Okay, no personal attack. State and be specific what needs to be worked on, and don't just say, you should know, you should know. How do I know what is in your mind? Why you say I should know? Okay, be specific what needs to be worked on so that we know there's a real issue lah. Not just your feeling only, you don't like it, not your style, okay? No, not like that. Be specific what needs to be worked on rather than pin personal blame on the one that you're giving feedback to. We're not here to blame. We're not here to judge, right? We are here to get people to work on resolving. So like Ivy says, what is my problem with X? Help me to let it go. On the other hand, when receiving feedback, look for issue. So when you're receiving feedback, what is the person trying to say? Look for issue rather than offense. Don't get upset with the person. Think about what the person is saying. Okay, look for the issue, look for the content. What is the matter? Rather than I'm upset, I'm sensitive, I'm very angry. Okay, that is the feeling part taking charge. Work on your negative emotions when people give you feedback. And then reflect if you have any issue or issues to work on. Now take note, weak negative emotions, if deep or easily aroused, are also issues that you need to work on. That means if you are angry or you're sensitive, that in itself is an issue to work on. Okay? You are not justified just because, oh, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm hurt. Okay? You are not in the right. Remember Cain? Cain was angry, he was upset, but he was the one in the wrong leh. Huh? So his emotions are double wrong. Make it worse. They don't make him right. They make him worse. Then number 8, demonstrate wherever possible unconditional acceptance and give assurance. So we must help each other to feel that we are okay, but we need to work on resolving and letting go our emotions. As we always say, no one is perfect. You, the one giving feedback, is not perfect, and you, the one receiving, also not perfect. But whatever, love each other, develop trust in each other, trustworthiness towards each other. So trust is you trust people. Trustworthiness is people trust you. Develop both. Okay? Develop the trust in each other and develop that trustworthiness where people can trust you. Look for the benefit of the group. Remember, discipleship is God's people. God's people. In discussion, personal experience, and case studies, only discuss yourselves. So like Ivy say, what is my problem? Help me overcome. Discuss only yourself. Don't talk about other people outside the group unless you have the issue with them. Okay, so we don't gossip and say, oh yeah, I got auntie who like that. I got neighbor who like that. No, no. Okay, unless you have an issue with your auntie or your neighbor, discuss only yourself. And a consensus should be reached that would be good for developing and progressing the group. Okay, I grow healthy, the group grow healthy. The I factor should not be the dominant factor, so we should not be all about me. Except for important exigencies, that means I have an issue. Okay, help me to overcome my issue. And that should be, we bring it out, we talk it out, we resolve it. Okay, so it's not all about me and I and my standard and my perfection and my whatever not, okay? It's unless I have a problem with that. Myself, I have a problem with myself. As such, sometimes, we have to make personal sacrifices. So this is where Maggie will say, somebody is willing to change the way they work because you give an idea that works better, okay? Or maybe we need to make certain sacrifices like, yeah, I can't stand the way he's doing it, but let me learn to accept that that is his ability. Okay, so I may have to make certain sacrifices personally, right? Because the one doing it is not me. The one doing it is another person. Okay, so I may have to make some personal sacrifices necessary so that the group as a whole or majority may benefit in Christian love. Okay, if we can do a better job and improve the result and everybody is willing to, let's do it. But if some people are struggling, then we have to make personal sacrifices. We don't impose. So we exist individually and corporately to the glory of God, for the glory of God. Me, one person, and together as a body. Let this be evident in the love. So love must be with each other and the unity. Remember, doing these sacrifices is not only about love, it's also about unity, which is also very powerful. Holiness, you see, we are very different like God. We accept each other, even though some of them are not as good as me. Yeah, holiness and purity of the group in the process of discipleship. Right? We know there are racial groups, right? That they say, oh, this group lousy, we cannot accept them. So holiness is where we learn to love and be united and accept that they may not be as good, as smart, as capable as we are, perhaps, right? But we still love them, just like God loves them. And then the purity of the group. This is the whole process of discipleship. Okay, so a lot to think about. I will send you any question, anything you want to comment or share. I'll pause the recording. Yeah.
Maggie,
Okay, Maggie, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Maggie.
Parable of the sower, the last week one.
Mm.
I can't seem to download it. I don't how many times or so I cannot seem to do it. It keeps saying cannot find the file.
You type the SS in, huh?
God.
This part no need to. Then what is
But
the
it
message
can,
that comes to you?
huh?
What is the message that comes to you?
Cannot be found.
Parable is
But
last week's one, huh?
it can be played. It can be played in YouTube. But
Oh,
I can't seem to be able to save. To download it.
download it, huh? Then
Uh,
maybe somebody save it on on their thumb drive and pass to you.
yeah. I will go and look for it. Mm,
You try again. I
yeah.
have not deleted last week's one, so it
Mm,
should be possible to, unless there's something the matter with your connection or what lah.
yeah.
But you
I'll
try
try again.
somebody else. Okay.
I'll try again. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Or just to do it with our own group.
Okay, I want you to look through it again. All right. I will send you the two files. Right. Look through again, think about it, and then give me your feedback and response, maybe the next lesson. So we have next week don't have because Ellie, you're away. When we come back on the 27th, right? Share your response and share your what you find about the discipleship that we've been doing over these past 2 years. Whether it's useful, in what way, so we can have some feedback. We can also have maybe some form of encouragement if there's something that comes out of it lah. Then
okay.
maybe who is the other one? Esther, if she can join us for the last session in case she has something to share. I think she's following the recording.
Yeah,
Yeah. So hopefully
she
she
said
can join us for one session. So yeah, Ivy, Esther is following the recording, right?
yeah. According to her, yes, she's following.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe y'all can invite her to join us for that last session for the year.
Oh,
And
okay,
we can have sharing session as well. And then
okay,
I will also send you another spiritual journey map, which is developing some of the things we have done, and I explain. Okay, then you can do it on your own first lah.
okay.
Any final questions,
Uh,
comments
no,
before
no.
somebody
This
close us?
wait, this is personal. Ellie,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
still